This is the 2026 Surron Ultra B. And today I will be measuring it with a measuring tape, including the geometry, things you cannot find on the internet or the spec sheets. If you're wondering if this fits your garage or your truck, or you're planning a build and you need the fork angle and the 333 width, screenshot whatever you need in this video. Let's go. On the spec sheet, this is 20-60mm long, 81 inches in length. So we'll measure it from the ground, the front of the bike, all the way to the end of the bike. We got 81 inches in length. So now I'm gonna measure the width of the handlebar from one end to another. We got 32 inches. On the spec sheet is 34 inches and today we got 32 inches, so 2 inches off. So overall height to the top of the handlebars, put the bike straight and then measure it downwards. Make sure it's center. From ground to the handlebars, we got 46 inches. So right now we got the 3 key numbers, the overall length, the ground to handlebars and the handlebar width. Now let's go more detailed. One of the most popular questions that people always ask us, what is the seat height to the ground? So today we'll measure them. From the top center of the seat to the ground, we have 33 inches in height. Okay, from the tail of the seat, highest point of the seat to the ground, we have 37 inches. Let's say if you are about the same height as me, I'm 6 foot tall. Okay, so when I'm getting on this bike and I sit down, my foot is able to go flat on the ground. This is very important. So if you are on the shorter side, you will be expecting your toes to be on the ground. So if you are even shorter and your feet doesn't touch the ground, maybe this bike is not suitable for you. We have other bikes for you. Another thing to know is that when you're on the seat height actually compresses about half an inch downwards because how soft the suspension is, it compresses about half an inch. The next one that we have will be the wheelbase, front axle to rear axle. On the spec sheet, it says 54 inches. Let's measure. So the front of the axle, which is here, okay, all the way to the rear axle, 54 inches. Longer wheelbase means more planted at speed, less twitchy. Okay, next up, we have ground clearance, lowest point of the frame to the dirt. So we got a total of 13 inches. That's a real dirt bike clearance. You can get over some gnarly stuff before you are dragging. Now here's one more thing that nobody talks about, and I will show you exactly how to do it at home. The fork angle, what we call the rake. All you need is your iPhone. Go to your phone and look for the measure app, open it, then you see this level. Press it. So the next thing we want to do is to lean against the wall so that the bike is straight. I'll put a ruler or something flat against it. Because the fork is round, it's very hard to measure. Now the trick is to make sure it's 0 first. You got it to 0, then hold it against the bike. Okay, there you go. We have 27 degrees on the fork angle on the Ultra B. You can do this on any bike you're looking at in the parking lot before you buy. So who cares about the fork angle? Here's why it's actually the most important number on the whole bike. The fork angle creates something called trail. Picture the steering. Draw an imaginary line down the fork to the ground and then look at where the tire actually touches the ground. The gap between these 2 points, that's trail, is what makes a bike go straight. And here's the rule. More fork angle means more trail, which means more stability, but the steering gets heavier and slower. Go the other way. A steeper, more upright fork means less trail, which means quicker, sharper, flickable steering, but it gets nervous at high speed. Now the Ultra B sits here on the nimble 27 degrees, and that's on purpose. So when you feel how quick it turns, that's not an accident. It's the number right here doing its job. A lot of Japanese manufacturers of the bikes, such as the KTM, Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, they have already perfected the rake angle. So I would recommend all electric bike manufacturers just take their numbers as an inspiration. They have already got it right for years. Next, we'll be measuring the front 333, the right center of the fork to the left center of the fork. We have 8 inches in width. The fork tube diameter, the stanchion, is 37 millimeters. Bigger stanchion, stiffer front end. This is the number you need before you buy any aftermarket fork. Next part that we'll be measuring, we call this the drivetrain. The number of teeth, rear sprocket. This is the sprocket. The gearing is the easiest way to trade top speed for torque. So builders always want this. Larger rear sprocket equals to faster acceleration, more torque at wheel, better hill climbing, easier wheelies, but lower top end speed, lesser motor RPM at speed. With a smaller rear sprocket with fewer teeth, you have higher top speed, lower motor RPM at cruising speed, better efficiency at high speed, quieter, smoother highway riding. But the trade-off is you have slower acceleration and less climbing power. So right now, I will give you a technique that we use to measure the number of teeth on the sprocket. Method that we use at the factory is called the marker method. So right now I don't have a marker, I'll just use a tape. I'll just put a tape on here so to count how many teeth that we have in total. So I'll put the marker here and this is where it begins. Then we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 42, 43, 44, 45. So we have 45 teeth in total, rear sprocket. Now the brake rotors, they are 240 millimeters. 4 piston hydraulic calipers, serious stopping for this weight. Rims, they are 19-inch front and 18-inch at the back. Bigger front wheel rolls over obstacles better. So the front tire for reference is 80, 100, 19-inch. The rear tire is 190, 18-inch. Travel is 240 millimeters, 9.4-inch front and rear. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you have learned a lot about the 2026 Surron Ultra B, which is live on our website right now for you to order. We are shipping daily. By the way, if you get the Ultra B, remember to get the VM tire inflator. It's going to be very useful. Don't use a regular handheld pump, or if you have an air compressor at home, that will be very useful. This allows you to hook it on the bike while you're riding. Put it anywhere. I'm just giving you an example. This is super easy to carry around. Inflate your tire in seconds. Alright, thank you so much again. See you on the next video.